What's going on, guys? Welcome to the new series, by the way, of node.js. This series is about creating a node chat application using Socket.io, Socket.io, and on this video, we're going to be creating a new project. We're going to be setting up all the templates and all that, and we're also going to be integrating Socket.io into this project of ours right now. So we're not going to do anything interesting. All we're doing is setting up Express, just all the basic boilerplate that we're going to need to actually start playing around with Socket.io. I don't know why I keep on saying Socket.io, Socket.io. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first thing we're going to be doing is create our folder, which I did. I named mine chat app, and we don't have anything inside of there. We are going to do npm init so we can get that out of the way, because we are going to install Express. So just do the default for everything. Now we're going to do git init, so that way we could push it up to our repository. Once this is done, I am going to push it up to GitHub, so that way you do have the boilerplate of what I'm doing. So yeah, do git init. So let's create some folders up in here. So in chat app, we're going to create two folders. We're going to create public folder, public, and we're going to create a new folder, server folder, for our server. Inside of server folder, we're going to create a new file, server.js, just like so. So you have that. And here in public, we're going to create a new file. Since we did say our entry point is index.js, don't worry about that right now. But our entry point is going to be index.html. So new file, index.html. Now in here, we're going to create our HTML template, just like so. I know I went that too fast. If you're using Atom, you literally just need to type in HTML and then hit enter, and then you'll get the we call it skeleton or the boilerplate, whatever you're used to. But this is about it. If you know anything about HTML, this is great. If you don't, leave a comment if you want me to make a tutorial on HTML. I could do that, but I'm pretty sure you guys do know HTML and CSS, because we are going to be using that obviously to style our front end thing. So in body, we're going to just put in a p tag, and we're going to say welcome to the chat app. Control save that. Now we're done for our index. Let's get out of that and go to server. So in server, we are going to do Express, and we are going to need to put in our public folder as a static, so we could use it inside our server. We've done this before. I will link a video in the info card, but it's going to be a problem since this public folder isn't inside of the server folder, it's actually outside. So I'm going to demonstrate something that we might cause a problem. It might cause a problem in our program, and we are going to fix it. But if you do console log __ dir name, and then add the what we want to make static, which is a public folder, which we need to get out a folder and then go inside public, just like so, with the P. We actually console log this, so I'm gonna do node server js dir name, control save name, just like so. Now you do it. Okay, we do server where it's living at, but you see right here, we got our server, and since this is window, ignore this for score. It's actually supposed, for Windows it's back, but don't do that. Just leave it as is. But you see this dot, so it's actually going outside and then going inside the public. We want to ignore this right here, and we want to go from our main main folder into public, and that is it. Right now it's going to the main folder into server and then going back out and then going into public. We wanted to get rid of that going back out and inside. We just want to go directly to public. The way we do that is Node does have a built-in module called path, and with this we could actually simplify our path. Let me give you a simple demonstration. So I'm doing another log right here, and we are going to need to require it, since, don't worry, it is a built-in library. So you could just do const path equals require path just like so, and we're actually going to display it down here. So we're going to do path dot join, and join is a method in path, and it actually takes in it's going to take in the path we want it to go into. So it takes in arguments as the path. So the first path we wanted to take in is actually the __ dir name, domains, and the second argument is actually this argument right here. Okay, control copy paste. We do need to put that in quotes. Control save that. Now if you actually run it, you'll see in a bit, look at this, it actually goes into chat app and then public without going into server, going back and then to public. It gets rid of the unnecessary thing right here. It just gets rid of that and then just joins it like this. It's pretty cool to have, and it'll actually make our connecting this express.static, making this public static and express, it'll make this easier, since this would be a lot of a headache to actually have this kind of thing show up. So that's why we fixed it right here. So let's go on building our express app. Back inside our terminal, npm I express. It will take a while, and it did add it, package.json express. You don't necessarily have to add in the -- save. I've been doing it because I'm used to doing it. Like I've been doing it, I don't know, it's just muscle memory. That's why I do it. But you don't have to necessarily have that, add that in. So we did that. Now let's continue on. Actually, I'm gonna put this in a this whole thing in a variable. Copy that, and I'm actually going to call it const path public path equals this. Now we can get rid of these two, and we're going to require const express is going to equal require express. And let's just build out our express app. Var app equals express. And then we're going to use that static folder like we done before. So app.use express dot static and then inside this we're going to just put in our public path just like so. Done with that. Now down below, app.listen. And we're going to give it the port name or the port number, and then our callback, logging out server. I'm gonna put ticks on this because we are gonna put a Tempest string because we do need to create our port. But for now, I'm just do server is up on port 3000. Control save that. Now we actually run it, node server. Awesome. Let's go check it out. Localhost 3000, and we get welcome to the chat app. Awesome. Now it's working. Everything's working for Express. But like I said, we are going to be creating a port variable because you should know this. Heroku doesn't run on 3000. It runs on its own proper port number. And we're going to actually do that right now. So under this, let's go to const. Let's go to const here. Okay. Let's create a const called port, and it's going to equal oh, I forgot for a moment. It's process dot env dot port, capitalized like this. Or if we don't have that port number in our system, we're going to go directly to 3000, and this doesn't exist in our system, so that's why it's gonna go to 3000. So in here we could do port, and in here we could just tag it inside. So $ brackets port, or curly braces. I keep on saying brackets. Control save. Now if we restart it, you should still see it up in here, and you do. Awesome. Now for our package.json, we need to modify this because we need to tell Heroku what command to start up. So Heroku does run by the command start, and this is where we're gonna tell it what to do. So we're gonna tell it to start node server dash server.js, just like so. And we're also going to, well, right here, and we're also going to give it an engines property. If you don't remember this, it's just telling Heroku what version of node to run. So in parentheses, engines, it is an object, and we're going to be running node on version, and whatever version you have. Honestly, I don't even know what version I have, so I do got to check it. The way you check it is going in here, killing this first of all, do node dash v, and I'm on version 11.2.0, so 11.2.0. Control save that. Now we're gonna push it up to Heroku, but before we push it up to Heroku, we do need to save it in GitHub and then push it up from there. So git status. I'm gonna get, oh, we do need to add a git ignore. So inside of this, new file dot git ignore, and we're gonna be ignoring our node underscore modules, just like so. Control save. Now we do git status again. We don't have our node modules. Nope, we don't. Awesome. So git add. I'm gonna add everything. Git commit. We're gonna add a message, and it's gonna be initial message, and then we're gonna create a repository in our GitHub. So I'm gonna just GitHub right here, create a repository. I'm actually in the wrong one. Sign out, sign in. Gonna be web dev journey at gmail.com. My password, you don't need to know that. And I forgot, did I forget my password? I'm pretty sure I did it. It's this. Got it. Don't save. And just making a repository right here, and we're gonna call it chat app. And we're gonna use this to actually to push it to an existing repository, which is this repository. Copy this, go in here, paste that in here, and you do need to sign in. So web dev journey DJ@gmail. I'm sorry, this well, at least you know I'm doing everything with you guys. So, and we do have it now in here. Now we could actually push it up to Heroku. So you do Heroku create, and none of this should be new to you guys. None of this whatsoever should be new. We've done this in the past. If you look at my videos, we have done all of this. Now we do git push Heroku master, and this is gonna push our Git code, the stuff we have in Git, all the way to Heroku, and we're gonna be able to actually open it in Heroku. I mean, in our internet. All right, this is gonna take a while. There it is, and then once we're done, you could either copy this, which I am, or you could do Heroku open, and it'll open it in another tab. But I'm just copy and paste this, and I have it, and we have it right here. Welcome to the chat app. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now we're gonna integrate socket.io into this. So now we need to go back in server.js because we need to configure it to handle incoming WebSocket connections. That means that the server is going to be the client side is going to be making the connections, while the server side is going to be grabbing those connections and allowing them. So we're going to be messing around with the server first, and then we're going to go into the side index.html right here. So to actually call the connections or make connections. So we are going to be installing in here npm I socket.io. That is the module we're going to be installing to actually do this WebSocket or this chat application, which is WebSockets. And this helps us do it. Just like Express helps us do our server real quick, socket.io helps us do the connections, making the connections and connecting the connections fairly easy as well. So we're going to do a const up here, socket.io equals require socket.io, just like so. So we do need to make a little bit more changes in our server.js. Yeah, socket.io doesn't really work well with app.listen. We actually have to create our own server, so that way this server we could use socket.io inside the server. Okay, I don't know if I'm explaining myself right, but we do need access to the server instance, and we don't have that currently right now. So we do need to make our own server, and it's extremely simple, guys, really simple. So it's we're gonna add another built-in module from Node, and it's called HTTP, and this is gonna help us create our server. And I'll explain to you why we're creating our server in a bit, our own server, which is pretty simple. Now down below, under app, we're going to do, instead of we're gonna start using let. So I'm gonna just change this to let. So I'm gonna say let server equal HTTP dot create server. We're gonna create a server, and it's gonna take in the app as the argument. Okay, this is basically the same thing, but instead of now we could what am I talking about? This is the same thing as a app.listen down here. Instead of app, it's going to be server. Not capital S, lowercase s. So we just created our own server just like this. And the reason why we wanted to change it to server and create our own server is because now we could actually create or integrate socket.io with our server. So var, god damn it, it's let, I gotta get used to it, io equal socket io, and we're gonna pass in server in here. Like I said, we didn't have this instance in our Express app. That's why we needed to create our server right here, so that way we could pass it in socket.io. Now everything should be working, but there is a little bit more changes in here. So if we go to localhost, let me just start up my application. Node. There we go. Let's start it up. So we're gonna go, instead of here, we're gonna just go /socket.io/socket.io.js. Now this is this is new. We didn't have this. We don't have a route for this, but adding this to our server actually gives us access to this socket.io library. Okay, so we're going to be using this library in our application, and we do need to create a script inside our HTML so that way we could pass in this library. So let's go back inside of public index.html. So we're going to add a script below p right here, script type. No, it's going to be a source. And let me get rid of these extra. We don't need these extra. src is going to be the actual URL we just got. So it's going to be right here. / I'm going to just copy it. /socket.io /socket.io.js. This is the script we're going to be using, and we just incorporated here. And this script actually allows us to make connections, or actually not, make connections to the backend, so that way the backend could accept those connections. We are gonna have to make another script, so let's do another script right here. Yes, sir. In here, we're gonna type in io. Now, io is a method or a function that we just got. It's a brand new one. It's not internal from the browser. We got it from this library up here. It actually, this is the initial connection that we're gonna try to make a connection. This was what we're basically going to do with this io, is going to try to make a connection and send stuff to the backend. It's going to request something from the backend, okay, and try to keep that connection alive. So we are going to store this into a variable, because like I said, it is going to request something, and obviously when you request something, we get stuff back. So var socket, I'm gonna do let. Let's do let socket equal io, just like so. Now remember, this is going to try to make a request to the backend, and the backend is going to respond back. Now that we have that, we do need to go back inside our server.js and actually listen to an event. So this one's, we're trying to make a connection, right? But in server.js, we're not actually like listening for an event, right? We're not listening for anything. So the way we're going to do that is actually io.on. Now io.on is going to start listening for an event, and a pre-built event, one of the more popular ones, is the connection event. So someone's going to connection. Okay, someone's going to try to make a connection, and we're going to respond back with something. It's going to take in a callback function. And in here, our callback will be socket, which is similar to the one we have over here. Okay. So in here, we could actually do a log and say when someone connects to this, to our app, we're going to say a new user just connected. Control save, and now we could actually start see that happen in real time. So let's restart our server. I'm actually going to do nodemon this time, so that way I don't have to keep on doing node mon, and server is up. So let me go over here and refresh this. Actually, 3000. Go right here, and what do we see? A new user just connected. It's that simple. Every time they connect to the index.html, which is right here, they're gonna get this connection is what is being listened for, a connection event, and you're gonna get this logged out onto your console. We could actually do that same thing right here, same thing over here on index.html. Now over here is listening for every time somebody hits the index.html site, someone hits it, well, this is going to cause this right here, this connection is going to print this out to the console. But now that it is connected over here in the index, control save, we could actually say that, oh, it did connect, so let's print something out. We could do something when it connects. All right, I'm going to show you right now. Socket dot on is exactly the same thing, and it's going to be the connect type, connect event listener. That's where, well, it already connected, so connect, and we're going to do something. It's going to take a callback with nothing inside of it, and we could do log connected to server, period. Control save that, restart our server. I don't know why I restarted it. I'm used to it. So go back in here, open up your inspect elements, or yeah, right here, inspect elements. We're gonna go to the network or actually our console, because that's where we're gonna be sending it as. Refresh this and connect it to the server. That's because we did make a connection to the server with IO or socket.io, and we have successfully connected, and we can start playing around now. We are going to do one final thing before I end this video, and that is disconnect from the client side and also from the server side. So once we disconnect from the client side, we want to display something, or actually console log something. And then once we disconnect from the server side, well, we want to, on the server side, that's when a client or a user drops out of the website. We're going to do something. And the client side, that's when a server is down. Like it's an example. When the server is down, or when you get out of that page, that means that it goes away. Like you're disconnected when you go away from the page, or the server goes down. Let me it's better if I explain it. It's better if I just do it before rather than tell you about it. So socket is gonna be the same thing right here. So I'm just copy this, copy, paste, but instead of connect, it's going to be this connect. This is built in, guys. This is a predefined event that socket.io has, and so is this. We are going to be creating custom methods or custom event listeners for this, but not for right now. We're just playing around with built-in event listeners. And instead of saying connected, we're going to say disconnected. Disconnected from server. Control save. Now if you go inside of right here, I'm gonna actually make this smaller so that way you can see. Let's refresh this. It says connected to server, but if I get out of it, like if I turn off my server, if I turn off my server, it's gonna say disconnected from server. If I turn on my server again, over here, connected to server. We're gonna do the exact same thing when a user drops out of the page. So back in our server.js, actually I'm gonna go back in here and copy this, copy over here, paste, and I'm gonna say user was disconnected, just like so. Control save. Oh, it's not socket, it's IO. Control save. All right, now let's see it in action. Action. All right, refresh the page. New user just connected. If I exit out the page, oh well, hold on. Localhost 3000, new user connected. Did I save this? Okay, now it started up. Okay, new user connected. If I get out now, why isn't it? Let me try to. All right, let me try it again one more time. Localhost 3000. If I get out, it's not doing it, guys. Hold on. I know what the problem is. Grab this. Sorry, guys. It's actually in here that when we make the connection, this is where we're going to be counting logging a new connected user or a disconnected user, and we're going to be using this socket to actually grab if it's disconnected. So paste that in here. Instead of IO, it is going to be socket. So I was right the first time. I was just getting ahead of myself, I guess. And if I do this, everything should be working. Socket.on disconnect. Yes. Okay. This should be working, guys. Sorry for the confusion. So if I go into localhost, we get a new user connected. If I get out, user was disconnected. Amazing. If I do it again, awesome. New user just connected, and out, user was disconnected. This is why socket.io is pretty awesome. It's real time, as you saw. Every time I go to localhost, it's in real time, guys. User connected, real time. I just disconnected. It's real time, guys. This is why it's so amazing. So with that said, I'm gonna actually just grab this and do a git add. I'm gonna get all of it. Git commit -m, so that way you will have this in GitHub added. Connect and disconnect event listeners, just like so, and git push. So I just added it into our repository. Or refresh it, added, connected, connect and disconnect event listeners, even though I spelled that wrong. But now you have it on GitHub. But that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And on the next video, we are going to be creating or emitting. That's what creating for sockets. Emitting and listening to events. We're going to be making more of those. So thank you guys for watching this video. Like or dislike this video. Please leave a comment down below if you're interested in me making another video, type of video, or that HTML tutorial if you want. But thanks so much, guys. I was thinking I'm like HTML and CSS. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.